Can I just say, I will extend the time. I think it was so important to get all of this on the record. I do believe you did want to make a statement, but you're overruled. But at least we've certainly got the statement now. David Davis. Sir
Mr Speaker, as the Minister said earlier this week, many of us across the chamber called for this appalling injustice to be solved in months, not years. And it looks as though the government has responded correctly to that, to that call, ensuring swift justice for those affected. But undoubtedly there are difficult constitutional and legal issues involved in this, as he laid out in detail. Some of the victims I've spoken to say they need an individual exoneration rather than a grand pardon, because they are understandably concerned at being bracketed with a very small number of people who will actually not be innocent. Now, will the Minister give us an undertaking to continue to look into this matter to address these quite proper concerns for the legitimate victims? I would also welcome further elaboration on the issue of compensation. Fujitsu has played a central role in this scandal and is still at the heart of government IT systems. Can the Minister tell the House whether Fujitsu will be required to meet some of the costs of the undoubtedly enormously expensive compensation we're paying out? And finally, will the government accelerate the investigations to convict those who are really guilty of causing this scandal by perverting the course of justice?
Minister.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Can I thank my right honourable friend for his urgent question and for his collaboration with us on these matters. Of course, we look very carefully at the issue of individual exoneration. That we didn't see any way possible to do that without an exhaustive and time-consuming administrative process, which would add further burdens to the burdens people have already suffered during this process. The other issue is getting people to come forward, again, which has been one of the major issues in getting people to appeal their convictions. So we saw this very much as the lesser of two evils in terms of the solution we have adopted. But nevertheless, we are very keen to discuss mitigations and safeguards with other members of the House. I set out one in my remarks earlier on, and one of the requirements to sign a statement of innocence. But I'm very keen to work with him to look at other mechanisms we can use to make sure that these people who do get their convictions overturned in access compensation are actually innocent of the charges. He raises the point about Fujitsu, a very important point. Has been raised many times. As he knows, a part of what the government did, it put in place a statutory inquiry. Sir Win Williams is chairing that inquiry. It is due to complete by the end of the year and hopefully report soon after. At that point in time, we'll be able to assess more clearly who is actually responsible. I know many people may have formed a view on that already, but we think it's right that we follow a process. We've identified individuals or organisations who are responsible for this scandal. Of course, those organisations we would expect then to financially contribute. So there are financial and legal measures we can take, and as regards individuals, of course, it may well be there's sufficient evidence for the authorities to take forward individual prosecutions, and I think many in this House would welcome that.